Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of the Dialog Mix template tutorial. If you missed the first part, well, the link is in the description. And for this tutorial, we're going to be looking at inserts, sends, and how does the template adapt to a mixing console. Anyways, let's get into it. So what I'm going to do is select all of my dialog tracks and insert an EQ. It can be really any EQ that you like. For this tutorial, I'm going to try to be as simple as possible. So what I like to do here is just have all of the filters turned on. I've already set this as a preset, as you can see right here, the EQ start. I saved it to my session folder, and I also set it as my user default. So whenever I load the plugin, these settings come along with it. And I also have everything already set to automation enabled, and that can be done over Pro Tools, Preferences, Mixing, and right here, this checkbox, Plugin Controls Default to Auto Enabled. Have this on if you like, hit OK. And the second insert is going to be a De-Esser. So I'm just going to insert this one. And for this De-Esser, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I think that 7 is like a sweet spot, and the range all the way up to 0, so it doesn't start compressing right away. And the third insert is a compressor. Now, right here, I also have a start 1 preset set up with the threshold all the way up to 0, so it doesn't start compressing right away as well. And I'm going to have the same thing set up for the ADR tracks as well. Now, for the sends, I want to send all of my dialog tracks, not the ADR tracks, to the first and the second dialog verbs, and also to the dialog delay. As for the ADR tracks, I'm just going to send them to the 7A verb and the 8A delay. Now let's move on to the music tracks. All I'm going to do is just put an EQ and a compressor. And as for the sends, I'm just going to send it to the 4th and 5th music verbs, as well as for the music delay. Now, what's interesting to notice right here is that the reason why I have the ADR tracks sent to 7 and 8 tracks right here is just so it's visually easy to look at. So I know that 1 or 3 belongs to only my dialog tracks, 4 to 6 belongs to music, and I like to set it up this way because I don't always use ADR tracks. So the most important sends end up being numbers 1 or 6, right? And next, let's just insert a reverb for the dialog verbs. So reverb, I'm going to choose revibe. And I'm just going to copy this reverb to the music verbs and to the ADR verbs. And now I'm just going to put a delay. Mod delay 3 is fine. And I'm just going to copy this to my delay tracks. Now, for the delay, I set everything to 0 milliseconds because, again, I don't want to start applying any effect by mistake, right? And let me just close this. And you can see as well that the input got automatically assigned because we just sent it to the tracks, right? And finally, I'm just going to create a master fader, a stereo master fader, and insert a loudness meter. I really like the Waves WLM. Take everything off of automation and keep it in the side right here. All right, cool. So now let's move on to the dialog chain. Now, the concept of a dialog chain, if you never heard about it, is just an aux track that contains a bunch of processing before the dialog gets printed to the mix. And the inserts for a dialog chain will be different for every mixer. I learned to do it in a specific way, and I still stick to it because it does a really good job. So what we're going to do is insert an EQ. The reason why I really like Waves Q10 is because you can have a Q of 100. So it's really good to notch out a very specific frequency, right? And the next one, I put another De-Esser. Leave it as it is. For the third slot, I generally put a denoiser. Now that's gonna vary as well between mixers. I generally just put the isotope voice denoiser. I think it does a really good job. And I'm just gonna leave it in 0 and check this out. Now for the fourth one, I put a multi-band compressor, wave C4, and then a limiter, set to -3, and then another EQ. Now, why would I put 3 EQs in total? Well, think of it this way. This one is a corrective EQ, then this one is notching out resonant frequencies, and this one's here because after compressing, the timbre of your sound may change a little bit, so you can use EQ to fix that problem, right? And that's it for the dialog chain. The same is going to be done for the ADR chain. Now, you don't necessarily need an ADR chain, but I like to have it just so I have more control over the ADR. Now, before we move on, I'm just going to import this video right here. And yeah, it's fine. Cool. I'm just going to close this, move it to the top. And for this track right here, I'm just going to rename it as GT for guide track. And just leave this as blocks. And now we are good to move on to the mixing console. So what I've got here is a bank of 8 tracks, right? So the first one is GT, and then we have that blank track, and then a DX chain, ADR chain, music VCA, and the first 3 ADR tracks. Now, the reason why I put the ADR tracks along with the chains and the VCAs is just that I don't always use ADR. So whenever we bank to the dialog tracks, I have 8 faders only for my dialog tracks. It's easier to identify where everything is located in the mixing console, right? So whenever we bank again to the right, I have all of my 8 music tracks. Now, sometimes I need 8 music tracks, sometimes I don't, but I still leave them there just in case. And banking again to the right, we have all of our effects tracks all neatly organized. And when we bank again to the right, we have our master tracks. So again, the reason why I have that blank track is just to organize the tracks the way that I want them to when adapted to the mixing console. And that's pretty much it for the dialog template tutorials. I hope that these videos have been helpful to you. If you have any further questions, please let me know down in the comments. And as always, I wish you have a great day and I'll talk to you soon. See ya!